On the 27th of October 1864, German tailor Franz Müller went on trial at London's Old Bailey, accused of the murder of 69-year-old banker Thomas Briggs. Briggs had been beaten, robbed and thrown from the train when travelling from Fenchurch Street to his home in Hackney. Müller had been linked to a gold watch chain and a hat that had been taken from Briggs and had been pursued across the Atlantic by Inspector Richard Tanner and some colleagues from Scotland Yard. Now, much of the evidence against Müller was circumstantial, but that didn't seem to dissuade matters at all, and the trial lasted only 3 days. More than that, it only took the jury 15 minutes to find him guilty, and the judge had no other alternative than to sentence him to death by hanging. Yet more appeals were made about the perceived lack of a fair trial, but despite these concerns being raised, Franz Müller went for execution on the 14th of November 1864. Franz Müller was executed at the gates of Newham Prison in Bow. Reportedly, there were 50,000 people there to watch his execution. Many of them had been drinking and were hurling racist insults at him as he fell from the gallows to his death. Müller had always maintained his innocence, claiming he never killed anyone. However, he was attended to on the morning of his execution by a Lutheran priest who spoke German by the name of Dr. Louis Capel. Dr. Capel stated after the execution that he had asked Müller if he was responsible for the death of Thomas Briggs. Müller reportedly responded in German, saying simply, "Ich habe es getan." This translates to, "I did it." Of course, we can't verify any of these anecdotes, but nevertheless, the case left quite a large legacy that affected many different areas of British life. The investigation into Briggs' killing highlighted the fact that passengers are unable to move compartments whilst the train is in between stations, and this meant that Briggs would have had no means of escape. The regulation of the Railways Act in 1868 stated, largely as a result of the Briggs killing, that all rolling stock should have emergency alarms for the passengers to be able to communicate an emergency to the train crew, as well as ability for them to move compartments mid-journey. Some railway companies even put peepholes in the walls of existing carriages. Looking back on it from a historical point of view, it's kind of ironic that they were referred to as Müller lights. That's British tradition as far as humour is concerned. The killing also created a new phrase. Anyone suffering a head injury was referred to as getting mullered, and that's where the modern saying comes from, getting absolutely mullered.